So, ooh, looks like someone's just sporting the anime sleeves.
Yep.
I mean, any friend of Barlow probably displays a bunch of anime sleeves, right?
No, that's Robert's deck.
Oh, okay. So,
I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever played against Steven before. Might be first couple times here or something like that.
mm-hmm.
But we're gonna
we're recording.
we're gonna get this game 2 underway
Yes.
and see what happens. We're gonna. I don't know what we're doing with the dice.
We have to get some dice out so our plus one counters and planeswalkers can we can maintain the board state.
I don't. Are we rolling dice or something?
We have not yet moved on to a holographic.
We're working on it. Dayton Holograph Club is
a new thing.
I mean, we could have random pictures that show up and tell you how many counters are on.
We'll get it in post.
Yeah, yeah, that's the next level, man. We're able to keep up with the counters.
I don't know why we're rolling dice in game 2, but
or maybe Watsy just.
Well, I was ready to use Flash Media Encoder and just do the life totals in post and just like keep track of it on paper.
Yeah, there's a whole layering process that's pretty good.
But you guys need to see the life totals, so
yeah.
But we got there. We got there tonight. This is our victory lap.
I mean, honestly, if we
all right. So I think Robert's on the play.
Yeah.
They're like
this is all we need to see, honestly.
Steven's on the play. Like, how did he end up on the play? Going, he's 1-0 against Robert. Like, they rolled some dice.
They rolled
or something,
they rolled to see who goes first.
Actually, apparently Robert is on the play because Robert most certainly went first.
Okay. Well, I mean, he is actually down a game, so he would be the respected person
absolutely.
Looks like we have a turn 1 artifact. I'm not quite sure what that one is. I'm pretty good at picking out magic cards, but that is not one I'm able to figure out.
Turn 2 Knight of Metal Grain versus.
I'll go look.
Okay. It could be a Traveler's Amulet or like a Scroll of Avacyn, maybe.
I think it's a Traveler's Amulet.
Traveler's Amulet, and we have another Rampant Growth deck. Okay. So we'll see if our Steven is able to find a big threat to actually end the game with.
I think he might be like Red Green Valakut or something.
Okay. All right. Oh, and there is a Caverner's Souls. So
Caverner's Souls Plains Knight of Metal Grain.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing some beatdowns here.
Mm-hmm.
And if our opponent is Valakut, we're gonna be out of range for a little bit.
Oh yeah. So we could see maybe a splash from this deck, but like you said, it's probably just mono white.
Like, how insane is it if he untaps with sort of like War and Peace next turn?
That's true.
Like, just hard cast it, just looks at his opponent like, can you kill this guy before I equip it?
Mm-hmm. That was
nope. Huh?
Okay.
Traveler's Amulet. Okay. So that Knight of Metal Grain is getting in for 3 to put Steven to 17.
Right, and now there's the priority list of removal spells has changed. He now has to kill the Knight
Exemplar. If he does not and he untaps, he might be in some serious trouble.
Interesting interaction, though. Indestructibility does not prevent damage from being dealt, so if he had a 3 damage burn spell, the creature would still die once the Knight Exemplar has left the battlefield.
Yeah. Well, he's casting something for 4. Is that an Elvish Piper?
That is an Elfish Piper.
That seems terrifying.
Oh, jeez. When you play an Elfish Piper, that's sending a message to your opponent. And
immediately Rob's like, that can't happen.
That cannot happen.
Whatever you're doing, that's a big that's a big monster.
They have printed some scary monsters.
You could just be on some random Eldrazi.
I mean, that could be an Emrakul. It could be a Progenitus.
It could be anything.
Hell. It could be a.
It could be a rampaging Bailoff for all I care. I'm not letting my opponent activate it.
You know what? A Thragtusk even.
That's just awful.
Yep.
So we casted this path and we tapped our cavern
to cast what I assume to be a 1-mana Knight.
It could be an Aether Vial he drew.
Okay. You don't typically see Aether Vial in these deck lists.
Oh well, Robert does play Aether Vial. I've seen it.
Let's see.
It's under our life total. Saying.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna have a big untap here from Steven. Let's see what he's able to put up. There's a promo red card, so if that is an Inferno Titan, that could definitely help him stabilize here. Doing 2 damage to the Knight, and of course 1 damage to the face. We're still trying to figure out what the card next to the Knight of Metagrain is. What I have to assume it is a White Knight, because that's the only old card I can see getting played in these deck lists these days. But that was an Aether Vial that got cast off of Cavern of Souls. Okay, so we're able to figure that one out. Okay. Looks like my co-commentator is back now.
I was an Aether Vial, by the way.
Yep. Now, I believe this is a White Knight next to the Knight of Metagrain, but we're gonna.
Nope, that is a Sarah's Blessing, giving all of his creatures vigilance.
Oh wow. Okay, so we have Lifelink with Vigilance, which has always proved itself to be a good combo in the past. Steven has a promo red card in his hand, which I thought was an Inferno Titan, but very clearly he would have cast it on the turn if it was. So we're going to have to figure out what that could be. It could be a Searing Spear.
Could be anything.
Searing Spear and Inferno Titan have surprisingly very close artwork when you're looking through a camera.
Yeah, that's true. Now that we got Rob to move his stuff.
Yes.
Into where we could see it.
Yes.
Figure my hand got in there a little bit.
Okay. That is a...
Is that
Furnace?
a dragon? Is that a Furnace Whelp?
I believe it's a Furnace Whelp.
And Robert Holson is like, okay.
I believe Furnace Whelp has 3 toughness. So...
It's 2.
Oh wow.
It's
so
it's a 2/2 for 2 with fire.
It's not even going to be a very strong blocker here, as you know he moves to as a combat step.
And that is a leveled up.
Interesting way to tap that. He could have used the. Oh no, he has double cavern in play. Okay. And
I feel like he's just gonna send in.
Steven is he's chump blocking. We have to find a red sweeper here. There's a lot available in this format, so we could see anything from Flame Break all the way to Fire Spout.
Slagstorm.
Molten Disaster got reprinted in Modern Masters. Maybe there's a good chance he has one of those.
He could have anything at this point.
He could have anything. Fine. So Comet Storm would actually make me happy. I would love to see a Comet Storm. Or a good old-fashioned Beta Fireball.
Just right in the face.
Just right in the face.
Let's just do this. You're at 29. I can get there.
No, you can split Fireball. You just pay 1
I know. I mean,
he can do 2/2/2.
He's got like 3 cards in his hand. He's looking real scared of this 3/3 first striking, life linking.
I think it's more of the Knight Exemplar making everything indestructible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his dudes die if he board wipes. So.
I'm not. You know, a lot of players actually miss that. So.
I don't know what that other card is, but it's big.
I thought it was a shock actually, but it's
what?
That is a expensive Magic card. I do not know what that is, but that is.
Look at.
I want to say it's some dragon.
Kind of like the Modern Masters Grape Shot, but that clearly doesn't cost that much mana. Could be Mortar Dragon.
No, Scourge of Courage, maybe.
Was Scourge reprinted?
Scourge of Courage was in Future Sight.
Oh, it was in Time Spiral.
It was in Future Sight.
Okay.
And it has Rough and Tumble printed on the dragon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's gonna.
Okay, so he has a blocker. He is blocking
the Knight.
Yeah, so he just attacked with his non-exemplar.
That is an Imperial Hellkite.
Oh, that's
the guy that morphs and then
okay.
puts a dude into play.
It's crazy. We'll look it up.
Okay. Hold on. What was that reprinted in?
I don't know. It had a new face.
His Modern Masters was, or not Modern Masters. It was the From the Vault Dragons. I know it was printed.
I know it was printed in that, but I believe it was originally printed in Legions.
Yeah.
I don't know if that card is legal.
That may be a bit of an issue.
That might be a thing.
If that is in fact an Imperial Hellkite, then we may have
an Arc Enemy,
which does not make it modern.
And Legions.
Legions.
We might have a problem.
I believe round 4 has cast an illegal card in modern.
Okay. We're not going to care because it's round 4, but he needs to know for future Magic tournaments that this card is not legal.
We will let him know after this. Because had he morphed that and unflipped it and searched for a dragon, he might have actually won the game.
Steven in the feature match area.
Try to tell?
Yes.
No, well, after the match or something. That doesn't really matter.
Technically a game loss.
Just tell him later. Who cares?
Okay, you guys don't care?
No.
I mean,
He's not winning the game with this dragon.
Oh.
It is an ineffectual dragon.
Actually, he might win the game with this dragon.
Yeah,
because he just got Hellkited.
It was reprinted in Arc Enemy.
So I should probably go tell him, right?
Which is
you should probably tell them.
Yeah.
Just tell him he has to play with a basic land for game 2.
If he wins this game, he'll just win.
No, he'll get it.
He has to get a game loss.
Yeah, he'll be getting a game loss. He's going to be forced to play with a basic land. That's not good though, because if people are, you know what? The Knights versus Dragon. Oh, that's right. Knights versus Dragons is not legal in Modern.
No.
So that's the other card. That's the other set I got reprinted in, I believe.
No, Imperial Hellkite's not in.
No, actually, I remember I was complaining about that. We had a Knights versus Dragon dual deck, and the Dragon Lord himself of Imperial Hellkite was not, in fact, reprinted.
Also, Hunted Dragon was not in there.
Hunted Dragon,
but they did comment on that because everyone asked,
like,
and they said it was actually just too good.
Yeah.
Because turns out a 6/6 haste flying dragon is just always better than a whole bunch of 2/2s.
Okay, so it being 32-0, I believe Steven lost that game regardless.
I don't know. He might have. But I believe we just reset because of a game loss.
Okay.
So
you let him know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we don't want our live coverage acting like we don't follow correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, it is unfortunate, but he does have to play with a basic land. Well, I was like, I think that's an Imperial Hellkite.
Yep, just grab a forest and a mountain, show it to him, say, which one do you want?
Yeah, so while he's fixing that,
could make
we'll
him
be
play
back.
could make him play with an island. Maybe we'll learn.
That's true.
Maybe he'll
We'll give
learn.
you a random basic.
And he'll just despite us, he's gonna ramp a growth for it.
Yep. Rampant growth with his island. Get there.
Cast. I don't
Well,
know.
while he's fixing that, we will be right back.
So, a little bit of an intermission. We are holding our what? Okay. We're just gonna have a little deck check for Steven to make sure that he is following the rules. And I don't know. Imperial Hellkite was a pretty sweet magic card. I don't blame him for trying to play it, honestly. I remember I was actually trying to build a fun little deck after Knights versus Dragons. We occasionally get some casual players in the store, and I don't particularly like playing EDH, though I have played the format before. It just seemed like after Wizards actually started printing cards for EDH, we really just got a bunch of overpowered, ridiculous green cards. And as I was playing Azusa at the time, it's kind of hard to say no to Genesis Wave, Praetor's Council, Primal Surge, like all the ridiculousness that's been printed lately. So I got a little tired of playing that particular format, but casual is a fun format. I occasionally build decks just to play against random people who aren't looking to play against competitive standard decks or anything like that. They just want to get some games in. So once Knights and Dragons came out, I actually was going to buy it, and then I realized that Hunted Dragon and Imperial Hellkite were not actually reprinted, and Imperial Hellkite is surprisingly a difficult magic card to find. The people who have them tend to hold on to them. So once I got that once I got thoroughly discouraged when I couldn't find those, I kind of just gave up on building that particular deck. But it looks like the deck check has been completed, and Steven is now the proud owner of some basic lands. So, if you're looking to not get store credit at a tournament, you can always just, play an illegal deck and get some free basic lands. Salvage every last bit of value you possibly can. Ooh, it looks like there was the handful of them that were not legal. So, yep, basic forest, basic mountain. Okay.
We should be good here in a second.
Yep.
Okay.
We have fixed the illegal cards.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a couple of forests and mountains out there.
Yeah. We had to double check, make sure. Let our new player that I haven't seen.
Hey man, when you're getting to those last few rounds, trying to eke out the last bit of value is always pretty good. Get those penny basic lands for free.
He's coming home with something today.
He's coming home with something. A shattered dream is the basic lands.
Which is a lot of
Plus,
people.
it must feel
like.
it's just.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, Steven's playing a big red
Dragon
deck, so
Which is
which
pretty
is what
awesome.
Modern is for.
It is for big red dragons, and I'm
Uh,
pretty excited.
yeah.
I'm not too sad about that.
I'm not quite sure.
We have a
what that-
literal Knights versus Dragons match here. And
Oh
that's-
wow! I
that's
didn't even
pretty,
think about that.
That's
That is-
pretty amazing.
That is pretty awesome.
Wonder
Yeah.
if the Knights deck has any illegal cards in it. Because
No.
if he's playing like straight.
No.
No.
He's
He's
been playing this
He's
deck
been
in
playing
multiple
this deck for
tournaments.
Modern for a while.
We know that his deck is fine.
All right.
But,
We've
We just need we don't need people to get the whole round going. Just
this is what happens when you start picking through the X3 bracket. So
That's fair. Burning Tree into Taunting Elf is what I just saw.
Oh wow! So
Well, effectively Taunting Elf.
effectively taunting elf. Oh,
It is a Taunting Elf, but it's not named Taunting Elf.
Oh, what is this card?
It's Shin of Life's Roar. It's a
Oh.
2-mana Taunting Elf that you can channel to do the same thing as Taunting Elf.
okay.
For
so
like 5 mana.
It's a 2/2.
Yeah, what it actually says is, I'm going to block your
This
3/3.
double block is not going to work out well for Steven. I believe the Steward has first strike, so
So
he is going to just lose one of his creatures.
I'll just kill your Taunting Elf, and you can have your Burning Tree
Okay.
emissary. He's going to play a...
No, that was
Burning
Robert's
Tree.
turn, so he's going to untap and possibly put some more creatures in play because he just lost one of them.
He's going to play a Burning Tree Shaman that I saw in his hand.
Is that
Which
what
is-
that was?
It's
Okay.
you activate abilities, you take a damage,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because
Level
turns
up
out
is an
level up
ability.
is an activated ability, and
Okay.
there's a knight and there's
It's strange that Burning Tree doesn't see more play in Modern.
It's also a 3/4, so we can actually block the Steward.
oh man, it can block that Student of Warfare all day.
Yeah.
Great interaction.
Turns out
Student of
it-
Warfare, not Steward of Warfare.
So he's gonna attack with his tutor here because his other dude can block.
It's obviously
And so he's kind of hoping that his opponent just doesn't play Knight Exemplar.
or Path Exile.
Which is a good out.
I'm pretty sure like Knight Exemplar is like his deck.
That is a sort of Feast and Famine in his hand, and it's on
And
the battlefield.
that is really good.
Okay.
Because now, regardless of what happens when he untaps next turn, his creatures cannot block. He'll take 1 damage for activating the sword.
Yeah.
And then he'll take a bunch of damage to kill you.
That's how you slay a dragon.
Is Traveler's Amulet going to be affected by his own Burning Tree Emissary?
His own Burning Tree guy? Yeah.
Or,
We're playing the Burning Tree deck, guys. I think he's going to cast Sarkinvol.
or Burning Trees with a dragon.
And we have casted Sarkinvol.
the Dragon
And
Master
Things
himself.
The Dragon Master himself. All my guys have +1/+1. Well, I'm going to block your Burning Tree and take 4. And you take a damage.
Yeah, some questionable combat steps here.
Steven should be at 19. I think they might have missed the Burning Tree trigger.
They might have.
Well, it's a good question here. Is he going to equip the sword and kill the Sarkhanval, or is he going to try to get his untap step with the sword?
I think he might try to get the untap step with his sword.
Because that means he can level up his knight like completely.
And have a double striking sword wielding guy.
Yeah, that
which
seems really
is
strong.
Huge.
Right. Which actually cannot be targeted with the threat effect of Sarkhan because it is a green card.
So we're gonna see if he is.
Okay, we'll see if he remembered the 1 damage from the burn.
He did, and now he's at 13.
Okay.
He says, I take 1. He's thinking about leveling up and whether taking the extra damage is worthwhile.
I believe it is 100% worthwhile. You are the beatdown, sir.
I think he doesn't care.
Okay,
he's just gonna kill Sarkhan now.
Okay, and he had nothing to play pre-combat, so.
So,
I believe we have a missed sword trigger.
He killed Soren. He killed Sarkhan.
Okay. Fair.
Funny enough, his opponent has a Savage Twister in his hand, which doesn't do anything because his dude has Pro Green.
Oh my. Is that a Colossal Might as well?
That is a Colossal Might. He's just gonna jam straight in there.
7 damage. He's at 6. I mean, this
could be a clock. I don't know.
Sadly, Savage Twister does not do damage to players.
So Robert is at 6.
Mm-hmm.
He has a sword-wielding knight.
And Steven is at a full healthy 20. So
he should be at 19. I don't know if they missed that.
Okay, from the
activating Sarkhan and the travel. Actually, Burning Tree might say opponent. And if that's really strong. And why don't we play more of this card?
I don't know. It's actually very strong against the Kiki Jiki combo.
Yeah, would you like to make infinite guys?
Or Spellskite. How much life are you willing to pay?
Yeah, let's do it. So, Mike, maybe we should be picking up our Burning Tree Shamans.
I don't know.
If we were willing to play Red-Green.
If we were willing to play Red-Green, that's the problem.
Unfortunately for us, we were a couple of Blue-White players sitting here commentating on some
Blue-Red.
Some really aggressive aggro decks.
You're really just a tempo deck. You don't care what colors there is, really.
Okay, so here's the question. What do we have going on?
That
is a Fiend Slayer Paladin.
Oh, wow. I heard he's pretty good with Sword of Feast and Famine.
I feel like this guy is still really good with Sword. I'm pretty sure he's just going to jam in for 5.
So he cannot kill this Fiend Slayer Paladin now. He has protection for red spells and protection from green, period.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to have to discard a card.
No, he untapped his lands.
And he had to discard the Savage Twister.
Oh, well, I mean...
And then he's going to equip the sword to it.
He's obviously discarding the Savage Twister. It's not going to do anything.
And then I think he's going to play Knight Exemplar. He tapped another 3 mana.
Okay, well, yeah, if he has the Exemplar in 3 mana, he's obviously going to slam that down.
Is that another...
No, that's the...
That is a Mirren Crusader, sir.
Oh, wow. So,
he
pro-green and pro-red everywhere.
He is a Haiti kind of guy.
This Burning Tree...
this Chameleon Colossus is not looking so hot.
No, that is not blocking.
You
know what?
Steven was pretty sure he was dead, but...
Steven is dead.
Steven is real dead, I think.
He levels up this... he levels up the Student of Warfare.
Well,
and he equips the sword to it, and then the Mirror
he already has a double strike. He can't. If he leaves on this, he can't block and he can't die.
Yeah.
Like he just gains 4 life.
That's true. That's true. And he has all the blockers in the world because he's going to cast a Knight Exemplar and just start blocking his Command Colossus if he needs to.
How insane is if he has the Sarah's Blessing and the Knight Exemplar like a champion just gets there.
Oh my god.
So he's trying to figure out if his opponent's dead.
He's trying to figure out the best attack step here.
The best attack step is clearly attacking with it.
Well, we're going to play our Knight Exemplar first. That's fair. Okay. So that means he plans on swinging with the Fiend Slayer Paladin, because otherwise the pro-green wouldn't matter.
Well, like he can attack with the Fiend Slayer and the Mirror Crusader.
Okay,
well the Mirror Crusader is 6.
Well, I guess
that represents 11 damage, gain 5.
Okay. No, actually, the Sword of Feast of Famine is obviously going to reward him for playing spells as main phase 1.
So he's gonna go ahead and gain 5 life here with his indestructible creature. He can't block. Yeah. He's gonna trigger and he's gonna discard a card.
Mm-hmm. God, I remember the old sword triggers with Sphinx Revelation. Or not Sphinx Revelation. What was it?
Azure Mage.
Yeah.
I used Azure Mage for a while. We were untapping lands of Sword, Feast of Famine, and drawing some cards.
Yeah, I remember.
Played against Mono Green. That was not a very good game for them.
Man.
Alright, so this sword is being attacked, and we're trying to figure out why he hasn't discarded his card, and Robert hasn't untapped his lands.
You know, it could be a missed sword trigger.
I don't think so. I think they're waiting on something.
That's true.
Like,
Maybe
they did miss the sword trigger.
Because he's casting a spell now.
Oh, I mean, I guess he didn't have a card in hand, I don't think.
Oh, no, maybe he's tapping his lands.
No, he didn't have a card in his hand.
To go back. Oh, wow. He has actual fireball.
It doesn't matter because Robert is at 10.
I know. Well,
So
he
he goes
can't
to
target
4.
anything meaningful here. He can kill the
Knight
knight,
Exemplar.
and if he has 5 mana, he can, or 6 mana, he can split it. So to do 2 damage to
Did we miss a sword trigger for Robert?
He might just be doing 5 to the face, too.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. He gained the 4 life, so he wasn't actually at 5 life.
He gained 5, so he's actually...
Yeah, he's actually at 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Committing Colossus and the...
Burning the...
The burning... If he swings, it has to be both of them.
Yeah.
And he loses either one of his creatures in that attack step.
He'll lose
He
the
basically
Colossus.
trades for a Student of Warfare. Which doesn't seem awful when your opponent has a sword in play.
He won't even trade for the Student of Warfare because the Exemplar is the one that ate the Fireball.
No. He swings with both, and then Colossus or the Burning Tree gets blocked by the Mirror Crusader.
Yeah.
And then that one dies in combat. And then if the student decides to block something, it's going to die in combat.
Yeah. I don't think he would block here. I think, like, if his opponent swings, he just takes some damage from
Right.
leveling up and kills him. Like,
Steven has to feel obligated to start doing some damage to his opponent. He wants to keep him enough to trample over and kill him, but no, he decides against it. He's preserving his life total against a faster clock than him.
Knight Exemplar is lethal.
That is all the damage.
The Knight Exemplar is 11 points. He has a Flame Blast.
Was that a Flame Blast? Okay, I thought it was Ignite
he's-
Memories. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it got a couple of extra basic lands in your deck will ruin things.
Yep. Well, he didn't draw another land,
Yeah, that's true.
so.
Drawing Savage Twister against Fiendslayer Paladins and
Well, the Fiendslayer Paladin wearing the sword with all that is not very good.
Okay.
But
congratulations to Robert Olson taking it down with Mono White Knights, defeating the Dragon deck with his Knight deck.
which is pretty amazing. But that's all for the tournament tonight.
Yes.
That was our last round and our last match. So we'll be back next week.
Yes.
So.
We're out. And Foster.
And we're out.